Hi everybody, it's me, Rogue Assassin. I had to record this video 2 times, and I don't like recording videos 2 times. Now, yes, this is another Ruby What If. But let's get down to business. I'm gonna make this thing short and very simple and very quick, because I made 2 hour-long videos and I didn't know how to separate them and make it shorter. So, yeah, let's get down to business. We are doing the test, which we left off. The battle that we left off was our crew were busy battling Arthur's brothers, and yes, I'm just gonna say it firsthand, they're all gonna lose. I'm just gonna tell you that outright. Okay, let's go down to Torchwick's battle. Reason why Torchwick will lose against Magic. Magic has more things that is able to do and fight against Torchwick. I'm not going to explain the whole battle sequence because you can most imagine it. Basically, Torchwick's aura will break immediately after Assassin sends the first attack, which is a fireball. Then, to finish him off, he would finish him with a water dragon onto the floor. And he would be in the observatory, basically knocked out. The fight between Neo and Assassin. Reasons why Neo would lose. Well, let's get into their fight. I'll explain a bit about it. As Neo begins her fight with Assassin. Assassin's the one with the pink long hair that looks like a girl. If you didn't watch my last video, suggestion, go watch it now. Now let's continue. As she looks into Neo's eyes. She looks into Neo's eyes first. As the battle begins. As Neo basically tries to use her umbrella against her. Non-effective because she's using a sword as well, as she's blocking Neo's attacks. But Neo's fighting her with very much style, as she sweeps Neo's legs, as Neo, I would say, counters by jumping up quickly and blocking attack, and then striking. She strikes, missing, basically striking air, as she gets, how can I say it? She gets pinned in basically a choke, but a choke holder, but instead of with arms, it's basically she's using her legs instead, as Neo gets trapped in a choke holder. As Neo needs to find a way out of this situation, as I would say she would use her basically umbrella assistance, as she would break out of it. Not sure how, but you guys can think of a way. Basically dodging the first swing from her sword, as Neo would basically block it with her basically umbrella, the second one, but as she moves her hand close to Neo's gut, as I would say she would swipe, as in like she cuts, as she's cutting something, as all you would see is just one cut, bam, as Neo drops to the floor in pain, as she kicks Neo in the stomach as she rolls over. Now, this is where she would get on top of Neo. Now, this would be actually weird, as she states, "You're skilled, but I'm a bit more skilleder." As when she tries to finish Neo off, her illusion would break, as was just a fake. As Neo would come out behind her and basically clock her across the face. She would roll a little bit as she states, "Ow, that hurt. Seems like you're using tricks now. I have a few tricks of my own." As the fight continues, Neo using her basically semblance to get out of sticky situations and distract the enemy, while she delivers some very powerful blows. Until she shoots a blade that has a rope, basically around Neo's basically arm, and pulls her towards herself. Now, don't know what was happening with my stuff there. I was glitching out a lot, and if my voice sounds weird as if it's stopping like I'm glitching, I don't know what's happening with my device. It's just going wonk. But yeah, continuing. As Neo gets dragged over closer towards Assassin as she sweeps Neo's feet. As when she sweeps Neo's feet, I would say that she pulls out her sword. As she's about to impale Neo as she pulls her sword down. Neo dodges just by a sec and uses her gun mode. As she dodges the gun mode and Neo shoots must. Steps back for a bit. As Neo gets up, as Neo gives a smirk smile stating, basically gives us off Assassin a smirk smile. As Assassin states, "You're skilled, I give you that. But you lose," as Neo gives a confused face as she disappears. As Neo looks left, right, nowhere to be found, until she starts getting hit. She gets hit 10 times. She uses her fake as it gets hit 20. She gets hit 40 times. Uses her fake again, gets hit, obviously, shattering it. As she constantly now gets hit, as she doesn't even have time to put down a fake, as she doesn't even see where the hits are coming from until she gets a sword through through her stomach or her chest. As we see our assassin, obviously, as she has her blades out, assassin blades, as she starts stabbing Neo over and over and over again with both of her hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, as she's doing this at rapid succession and speeding up, only getting faster. As the final one, basically Neo gets hit with, she gets sent all the way to the tree, as she grabbed a sword before, like, she hit the tree. As she walks over, as Neo is somehow still alive. As Neo looks up, barely alive, as basically stating, "You like illusions, don't you? Then you'll love this." As her sword turns into a massive scythe, as the sky turns red, as all Neo can see is just blood-red eyes staring at her. As she looks at those blood-red eyes, the scythe swings, as in to take her head off, as everything goes in slow motion. As the world around Neo and everything that they see starts breaking, as it shatters into glass. As we're back at the original place when the fight started, as Neo is still in the same position when the fight started, as she drops to the floor, basically passed out. As Assassin states, "That was easy, but she is a skilled fighter. Maybe I could give her some pointers." Now, Penny's fight. Penny's fighting Green. Well, the fight is not in Penny's favor, I can tell you that much. Because, number one, Green controls all types of plants, whether it be wooden, whether it be like trees, grass, any type of plants, and he can mutate them to have certain aspects. He can also take on certain aspects of an element. He's using the lightning element at the moment. Penny doesn't have a chance, I can tell you that much. Penny, if she gets airborne, she's just gonna get shot by Assassin that Neo couldn't finish off. Because we do remember Assassin is the sniper. As the fight basically went like this. The fight in the last video that I recorded went like this. Penny was busy fighting, basically, Green until she found an open area. Basically, she needed a way to get out. But before she could get to this open area, her arm got impaled by a green, basically, thorn. That was oddly very hard. It could pierce even metal. She pulled it out and her one arm was very, very badly damaged. As she got out of this field, while Green was busy chasing her, before Green could basically get out, Green pulled out a pen. which he turned into a kunai and stated the following words with the following hand sign. The following words with hand signs. Following words with following hand sign. Demon Shuriken, Demon Plant Shuriken Jutsu. As he threw the kunai, as he screamed with the final hand sign. Demon Shuriken. I said it better the last video, and this is why I don't like recording multiple videos of the same thing. Continuing, as he threw it through the tree line, as multiple of the same shuriken came out of nowhere, as Penny had to dodge. Penny did get airborne, but yeah, she lost the thrust immediately. As Penny got into the open area until her arm got shot off, the one that was broken, as another shot came off and it hit her leg, as she took a refuge behind a rock, as she was still facing off green, obviously, but the sniper couldn't see her, as Assassin's like, damn it, I can't see her. And this is when I explained that all of Power Child's brothers has a neat advantage against everyone else. They can see each other through each other's eyes. So Assassin is looking through Green's eyes to see where his target is, but he's also communicating with Green telepathically. As Green puts his pan in a weird position, as you hear a sniper ring, bam, as it hits the pan, as it ricochets off towards Penny, as I would say it hits her leg, as before Penny could basically get up on her one leg, her other leg got destroyed by a beam. Bam. As Green placed his pan down on the ground and stated, this is gonna hurt. I'm sorry. Boom. As a massive light, basically energy came from the pan, from within the pan. As is, it was storing energy while it was basically Green was fighting Penny. As he took off both of Penny's available legs and limbs, which was a one remaining arm and a one remaining leg. The next fight, Pierre versus Red. Now, Pierre, in the last video that I tried to do and failed, she was terrified of Red. Reasons: he's a monster. The fight began when Pierre had to block an attack from Red, as she got sent basically nearly across the arena, as she hit 5 trees and also broke her over at the same time, as she was terrified of that monstrous strength, especially what he can do with his own limbs. As when Red got to basically Pierre again, he transformed his one arm into a blade and nearly cut her head off. Red wasn't holding back, not at all. As when Pierre basically tried to attack, Red would just push her back even further. Now, I bet you're wondering, why doesn't Pierre use a semblance? Impossible, because what she's fighting is just an organic material. Red's blade that he can morph his hand into is just an organic weapon. Red's first organic weapon, Red's shield organic weapon. Every weapon Red uses is organic. So her semblance are at most useless in this effect. As basically she got taken down by Red. As she didn't actually get taken down by Red, Assassin was the one to take her down. But she was mentally scarred by that. Why? Because she fought a monster that was basically stronger than her, and she feared that. The monster's strength and the amount of things that he can do and change his body into, it just scared her. Next, Arthur's fight was one of the most interesting ones. Why? Because he was fighting 2 people at once, and he would soon be fighting multiple, as he was fighting Orange and Puppet. As their teamwork was very interesting, because while basically Puppet attacked, Orange would be in support and not give Arthur a chance to counter, as this would go on back and forth. Basically Arthur dodging and not getting a chance to even fight back, as he got basically beaten up. But until he released his Dragon Rage, And this is where I paused and stopped and explained about the Dragon Rage. Like I stated, the Dragon Rage is basically like One for All, but it's his own specific thing. It revolves around how angry he gets. The angrier he gets, the more his strength will increases, like One for All, or like All for One. Now, basically, level 1 of Dragon Rage is equal to 20% of All for One. Level 2 is equal to 50%. Level 3 is equal to 80%. And level 4 is basically 100. He can go further up, basically replicating the Kaioken. He has an infinite amount of multipliers that he can do this. He can multiply his power infinite amount of times. He just needs to master it. The higher he goes, the harder it will be to control himself, as this is where he loses control. But this is also where the other members come in. Green, red, magic, and also whatnot, as they beat him up pretty badly with their impeccable teamwork. But this is when this thing... Now, this is just me explaining what happened on the video that I tried to record. So, this video is going to be hecko short. Hecko short. I can tell you that much. But, yeah, this video will not take as of basically an hour long, like the last video that I tried to make. So I'm just narrating the story for you from an outer perspective. As he was pretty beaten up pretty badly. Fight was basically one-sided until he finally entered his mindscape and met his older self again, or his past self. As his past self was saying that he's missing something. When Arthur asked what, his older self stated, "What are you fighting for?" As that's when we went into a flashback. I'm going to tell you about the flashback now. The flashback was about about Arthur, the old Arthur, and Arthur's sister. As she asked the question, "Why do you fight? What gives you the motivation and strength to fight?" As Arthur looks back at all the many people and stated, "They give me the strength to fight. Seeing them okay and seeing them doing great gives me hope, gives me strength. And seeing them that they would follow me wherever I go, it makes me kind of happy." As she states, "Why? Why do you want to do this? For others, for other people. Why do you do this for them?" As Arthur states his reason and states why, and what is he fighting for. Arthur is fighting to protect the multiverse, because the multiverse, as stated, more information here, is under a very bad threat. The corruption. The corruption wants to destroy the multiverse and turn it back into what it once was, the void. As he doesn't want that. He wants to protect the multiverse, and he knows those gates won't hold for long. So he has to get strong enough to be a beacon, so everyone can look up. When the time comes of chaos, when the chaos comes, they have to see one beacon of hope, light, and that's him. To give them courage, even in the darkest areas. To give them courage and strength to fight against this problem that could destroy the entire multiverse. That's why. That's why I want to get stronger. So everyone can turn to me and see a person that would not give up. So they don't need to give up. As, yeah, that's Arthur's reason. He wants to protect everyone, and he wants to be a beacon for everyone to turn to when the darkest days come. As he states, even the villains. One day, everyone would need to unite and fight against this problem. Even the evil, even villains. People that we are utmost enemies with. We need to put our differences aside and fight together. For not humanity. For not the extinction of, planets. But for the existence of the multiverse. because if we don't, everything shall be destroyed and returned back to what it once was, the void. That's his reason. As this author, the author we're following now, basically remembers his reason for fighting, and that gives him strength. As Arthur's head changes, it changes from a white color, from blue to white, as it has strands of light blue inside it. As Arthur stands up and smiles, basically getting into stance and states, "Bring it on." As he takes on his basically brothers. As Arthur's sister smiles in basically the place that they're looking at. They're watching me basically fight. As she states, "Finally. You finally found what you were missing." As Arthur basically takes them on and gives up them more of a fight, using technique, strength, and skill. Basically taking them one by one or taking them two by two, if necessary. He could not take them all on at once, as when he was about to take them all on at once, the match ended. And that was it for the training. Now we get into the juicy things. I would say that everyone would rest first. Now we're getting into a story now. This is story time. That was just reviewing over the video that I did that was an hour long. And I didn't want it to be an hour long. So let's get to the story now. Arthur gets back basically to the mansion as everybody is basically resting up. The other people are resting up and Magic is tutoring or basically giving Pierre some mental fortitude. Why? Because she is scared as hell. She fears Red. Why? Because of his monstrous strength and his representation of just something that is abomination. As basically Pierre is scared of Red. As Red walks up to Pierre, as she basically is scared of her. She doesn't outright scream, but yeah, she fears Red. As Red puts out her hand, as she closes her eyes, thinking that she's gonna get hurt somehow. As Red states, "You okay? You look a mess. You look really a mess." As she hears the following. As she opens her eyes and stares at Red, states, "Aren't you?" "No." As Red states, "No, I'm not gonna hurt you. Everyone thinks that. Freaking hell." As Red states, "I just want to shake hands." As Red is trying his best not to yell and scream, he's just holding it in. As Pirish, basically very scary, takes his hand, shakes it, states, "Good fight. I mean, you have quite promise, I have to say. You were fighting me also, so it's quite obvious you might lose." As he's been a bit more friendly to Pierre, because he just scared the shit out of her, so yeah. As Pierre starts basically recovering from a mental trauma, as Red is also improving that as well. As everybody's looking over the videos, basically mainly the people that are looking over the videos of how they fight are basically all the basically Powerchild's brothers. They're all just looking over the video. So is Powerchild's sister herself. As she states, "I think we can work with this." As Magic is watching Pierre in general, basically how Pierre fights. As he sees how Pierre tries to use a semblance, but fails. As he asks Orange about something, because Orange is mostly the person that focuses on the stuff. As Orange states, "That's actually a good idea. If your theory is correct, Magic, then that's actually a great idea." As he asks Pyrrha, "What is your semblance?" As Pyrrha states that her semblance is magnetic, basically. Her semblance is a magnetic semblance. She's able to move metal, attract metal, the same thing that a magnet does. She's also able to assist her team with it. As he's like, okay, so here's another question about semblances. Can they evolve? Semblances evolving? Um, as Pierre is not sure about that question because they've never seen a semblance change before, a person's semblance change before. As I would say that Orange would do more analysis on semblances and check it out. Because Orange has some ideas, as Assassin walks up to Neo, states, "You're pretty good, I have to say, but I would say that you basically lost to me pretty quickly. Number one, never look into my eyes, or else you're gonna be in a very bad situation." As Neo is still confused on how she lost, because she doesn't remember anything. She just remembers how the battle went, but she doesn't know that that was just an illusion. As when she checked the recording, she was just standing still. She didn't even move. As Assassin states, well, our training should begin soon. So how about I train you? I mean, you look like you need it. And plus, I could teach you a few skills that I use. And maybe I could teach you the thing that I used against you. As she's intrigued and interested, as she accepts. As the next person that's going to get a bit of training. No, Torchwick won't get training here because Torchwick won't be going with the team. Only 5 people can, only like enough, certain amount of people can go through the portal. Torchwick will have to stay here. Now, person that will also be getting like a bit more repairs is Pierre or Penny. As Orange states, "You're a machine, correct?" I checked your systems before, and yeah, your systems are advanced, and your machinery too, but it's not advanced as us. So how about I repair you? I can also add some upgrades if you want. Maybe some flying mechanics. I saw you flying before. And maybe some other weapons. Maybe nanotech? If you want it, of course. As I would say Penny accepts. Because Orange is going to do some upgrades on Penny. And they're going to be some literal cool upgrades. Uh, the next one that will also be training is Arthur. Arthur has unlocked his full potential. Not technically his full potential, but a sort of full potential. As Arthur has unlocked his next level of power, which he's in right now. As I would say Arthur's sister volunteers to train him. Because she's been with Arthur longer than their brothers have. But first, before they start the training, they have to do something. As they take Arthur to a room filled with different crystals. As there are certain, like, basically circles, as Arthur stands in the middle. As I would say, all Arthur's brothers surround him, basically standing on certain smaller circles that are basically surrounding the bigger one. As she states, "Do you know what we'll be doing here?" As Arthur states, "No. We are here to reunite you with your brothers." Basically officially. As she warns Arthur, stating, "This might hurt, so I suggest you sit down." As there's a seat. As I would say, Arthur sits, relaxes. As I would say, they tie him down to the chair just in case. But yeah, as Arthur's soul gets brought forth, basically his transparent rainbow soul. As I would say, each one of his brothers have a piece of a broken soul. That's a rainbow soul, obviously. as they all start floating towards the transparent zone. As now they are just basically forcing these pieces together. As Arthur is in so much pain, as he starts screaming. As she states, calm down. It's only just gonna be a little bit. As Arthur basically hears the old version of him state, calm down, close your eyes, and focus. Feel the wavelength. Feel your brothers. As he focuses, as he basically it's like a wavelength. As he's like on a like moving ocean, as this moving ocean is rough. As the more he gets calmer, the more the ocean slowly starts calming down until it connects with another ocean. As we see the basically broken souls connecting each other and fusing with the transparent one. As it's finally over. As Arthur opens his eyes. Now all his brothers are gone. They're not there anymore. Don't know where they went. Not there, but you're gonna find out soon. As Arthur gets up stating, my head hurts. She's like, yep, that happens sometimes. As he looks around saying, where did they go? Well, I would say they're all standing in front of me. As Arthur's like, wait, what? As we hear Green speaking in the back of Arthur's mind. Hey yo, I'm back here. As he's like, whoa. As she states, you're gonna need to go in your mindscape for that. As Arthur's like, how do I do that? Close your eyes and folk and just think of your mindscape. As he does that, as we see him get drawn into this circle-like area, as he's in the center of all his brothers, like the same circle thing. As he's like, yep, we're here. As he's like, this is weird. Well, yeah, first time for everything, I'm guessing.
But technically, this is natural for you. It's supposed to be natural because we always used to fuse like this. As Arthur states, you're not my brothers, are you? As Orange, like, it took you long enough to figure out. We're technically not your brothers, but we are. Well, as Magic states, to put it in more simpler terms, we are you. We are not your brothers, but we are you. We are pieces of you. As he's like, wait, what? What I'm trying to say is, we are pieces of you that came from your mind, you can say. That gained its own, basically, life. But we still come from you. We are still you. If you die, we die. That's how it always worked. Okay, I'm gonna start explaining this now. Now, I want you to think of something. There is an anime called So I'm a Spider. So I'm a spider. So what? If you watch this isekai, this new isekai that's coming out, I asked you to watch it. There is basically in the anime spoilers, but there is ability that splits her mind into multiple things. One is a combat mind, one is a magic mind, and one is her mind, which is the strategy mind. And there will be more different types of minds that can come. This is also spoiler territory here. She is also able to split her minds. She is also able to split her body with these minds. It's the same thing here. Green and the others, his brothers, are all just versions of his mind that took different aspects. Like one focused on more of an assassin approach, the other one focused on more of a magic approach, the other one focused on more of a plant-based fighting approach. They're all still Arthur, but they just have different names. and they do things differently. They act differently and their emotions are different. So it's basically like you're talking to a different human being, but they are sharing a mind. They're still the same, basically Arthur. It's still Arthur, as that's what they explain to him.
As he gets sort of. As I would say, the training begins. Orange is busy repairing Penny, as he is telling Penny the upgrades that he will be giving them. And they are busy also researching semblances, as this is what they discover. So what Pierre has told what Penny and Pierre has told them about semblances. Semblances cannot be changed. They cannot evolve, and they are different to every person, like a quirk. But the difference is they use aura, soul, the power of the soul, to basically protect themselves, quick heal, and also power their semblance abilities, which can range to many things. Mostly speed semblance and strength semblances are the most common, but there are some cases of other semblances that exist. Now, that's some of the information that they gave, with more research of advanced technology that is here, because the technology that is here is more advanced than the technology that's in Ruby, as they discovered that number one, semblances can evolve. That's the non-true part. That other part, that semblances can't evolve, is not true. They can't evolve and they can change. Semblances can change and adapt depending on basically what the person decides to take up. So if something changes
With Pyrrha, as in her fighting style, her semblance could also change with it to adapt to what her fighting style needs. Now, this could be a range of many different things. And yes, semblances can adapt and they can change, but you cannot force a change on your semblance unless you train it a certain way. And it's going to take a long time. But they have a lot of time on their hands, so they can train as much as they want. Now, that's what they discovered as they start Pyrrha's training with the idea. I'm not going to reveal the idea now, but they have an idea on what Pyrrha can use. They also start training Neo. Neo semblance will also change a certain amount, a sort of change, and I would say Torchwick. Nah, he would be training with magic, learning also magic and other abilities that he could use, but he will stay here. He will eventually come in the story in the future, but he will stay here for now. As Arthur is also training, basically training
he's also going to be training his semblance and his other abilities that he needs to work on. So yeah, that's it for this story, guys. And you see, I made it a 38-minute video. This is what happens if I do the things 3 times over. But I had to cut out a lot of the action fighting, so that's sad for me. But hey, next time you guys will have to. I'm gonna need to ask you guys a favor. Take a guess what Pyrrha's like new semblance, because it's going to evolve, gonna be. It's still gonna be magnetic, but what type of magnetic it's gonna be? How strong is she gonna be able to use a semblance, and how will it change? Comment down below, and also comment down below on what you think the training, like these guys, their trainings are gonna be. Training is gonna be like. Until the next video, guys, and I'm working on another what if. Depending, it's depending. It's a lot of things that I'm debating right now. I'm debating if I should do a Naruto what if, because I was never good with doing Naruto what ifs, and I want to work on my Naruto what ifs because I'm crap at it. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. Until the next video. Bye. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and bye.